Hello, and welcome to the Foresight Scrolls, where we look at charts to determine their price movements using the Foresight Indicator Suite for Tradingview. If you're unfamiliar with the scrolls, you can check those out on ForesightScrolls.com. You can also watch the tutorial videos here on the channel. So each day we take a look at a few things. Those could be stocks, cryptos, indices, commodities, and today we, because I was inspired to do so by somebody in the Discord, take a look at some futures to see how the Foresight Scrolls performs on those as well, because we can see that they have real power on most things that you can trade. I don't know anything that you can't trade that has charts that they're not powerful on. And so the first thing we're going to take a look at today, which is something we look at every day just to get a taste of what the overall market, the stock market's doing, is the SPY, the ETF that tracks the S&P 500. And this is the same thing we've been looking at for several weeks now, this uptrend, this channel that it's been in, this huge breakout right here. And this is something that we can see now has really started to play out, I think. I mean, this is really starting to look like a maturing bear flag. So we have this huge red candle. All of this is inside bar action. It's at a relatively nice degree upwards. And you can see this. The coolest thing about this chart is that you can see our epoch, our line has been holding it up each time. And we wicked right down to it again today. So this thing is getting really heavy. It's been unable to really sustain getting inside this channel again. I don't know how long this market can keep itself up, to be quite honest. And we've seen our we're seeing our wave of eons, our intermediate time trend wave begin to pinch here a little bit and roll over. What we expect to possibly see here is when we get a rollover and turn into a bear market on this daily chart is for our epoch to actually flip the wave of eons. So normally how this plays out on most charts is if there is going to be a breakdown, what we would see is price break down, the flip begin to happen, and then price come back up and drive itself right into the epoch again as a retest. And if it can't beat it, it's blood in the streets at that point. It's down city. We've been in a very long uptrend, and with AI and market manipulation that seemed to been very prevalent this year. We don't know what might happen, but certainly technical analysis is showing us a bear flag here, and we see that it's really dying off, it seems. I haven't looked at volume on this lately, but that'd be interesting to look at. I guess we might be able to check that out now and just see. There we go. Well, let's put on the. I tell you, it's really cool to look at volume. Since they've added a moving average just to see what's happening here. Let's look at this thing on the 4 hour, because that's going to give us a better idea. I don't know. Pretty stable. So a lot of trading going on. Let's jump over and look at Bitcoin. And I wish I would have I've closed charts since yesterday, but if you haven't watched yesterday's stream, I encourage you to do so, because we take a look at Bitcoin. And on that chart, I drew out this, let's see if I can find it again. I don't know. There we go. I drew out this head and shoulders pattern that's happening here, and I'm just doing this off the cuff here. So I drew out this head and shoulders pattern. Oh no, I'm sorry. I drew this completely wrong. We're more like this. This guy is somewhere in here. Yeah. There's something like this. Sorry, I'm trying to do this really quickly, and Still isn't quite right. Point being here, we got a breakdown from this head and shoulders and a retest, and now we're sort of dropping back out of that. But the really cool thing about this is you can see that that Foresight called all three of these tops. It's awesome, completely awesome. Yeah, it's really cool. So that's what we're looking at on Bitcoin today. Just seeing this, seeing how this has broken down. So if assuming we keep moving in that direction, looking at the 4 hour here, so you've got a couple of bearish premonitions. We are under the 4 hour version of the wave of Eon. I expect we shouldn't ever think about what to expect with Bitcoin, but that we may come down here to test, because there's multiple trend confluences here. We have our echoes of time here. We have this uptrend, which I believe, I may have to zoom out to see what this thing is. Oh yeah. Oh, so this is major. So we have this previous top here. Yeah, three things here that we should be watching. There's probably, I would imagine, that we break down from here and get a nice bounce right there, since we have several factors in play. Yeah, so that's what we're watching at the moment. We certainly have things that are tradable day to day. And there are so many charts, there's so many cryptos, so many stocks, so many different symbols that we can be trading with Foresight, the Foresight Suite, that there are always opportunities. One of the things that we're doing with the Foresight Suite is we're trying to make it the most simple user interface with the most robust engine that's on the market for people that are not a part of institutions, because that's what we're up against. We're up against major money, major influence, major manipulation, in my view, and we're doing our best to try to swim along with those whales and know where the price is moving. All right, so this is one I left up from yesterday, or brought back up from yesterday, simply to flex on it, just simply to flex. This was all based off technical analysis. Now, I've been watching GE Aerospace for a long time, and we can see, as far as Foresight goes in the flow of time, it's been pretty reckless with GE, and it's the reason why I've been watching it for so long is this thing has been bugging me for a very long time. It's had this very unnatural price action. Let's go out to the weekly so we can see this. See how ridiculous this is, with no significant pullback here. We had major consolidation here and just plowed higher. So we've been parabolic on this thing. And I'm not going to zoom out to see it, but the all-time high back from like 2001 was roughly about right in here. And we had an earnings call. I have these earnings up on the Tradingview here. We had an earnings call yesterday, and there were surprise beats on all the projections, the earnings and the revenue. They gave good guidance for the future, and what we saw on that was this huge blast off up here, and I'm sure that lots of people got wrecked on this. So it's capturing anyone who is still shorting this, which it's hard to imagine people were, but anyone who was still shorting it got wrecked, and anyone who chased this got wrecked, because this news came out at like 7:30 pre-market, and when markets opened, it was blasting off. So anyone that jumped in for the ride just got hammered on this thing. And we closed yesterday right here, looking like a huge topping tail. And the biggest thing about this topping tail is it's the asset's all-time high. So it's at the very, very top. It beat the last all-time high and then created this huge tail. And then we got this bloody sell-off today. And we I hate to say we called that. I mean, this is when this happens, everybody calls this if you see it. The fact that we closed down here after those earnings and after that move, the odds of us going down were huge. But the other thing about it that I really want to lean into here and point out is we had this huge dump out today. So everybody's going to be selling this thing today. And look where it sells to. I mean, we just dot. We just dot the epoch here. The indicator suite, it's not perfect by any means, but it's powerful. It's really good. It's what we use to trade because we think it's that good. And we're dialing it in more all the time. And so little things like this are just really encouraging. They show us that we know exactly what, that the direction we're going is right. And we're just following that out. So the last thing we're going to take a look at today are a futures chart. And this is on the, I think this futures on Dow Jones, top the 30, the 30 stocks from the Dow Jones, I believe. And this is really cool because, to be quite honest, of all the things we've looked at Foresight on before, I don't even think I've looked at it one time on futures. And we just don't normally trade futures, not our thing, but it was just remarkable to see. And we're on a 4-hour chart here. By the way, we've moved back and forth about where these indicators, like the sweet spot is to trade. And for quite a while, we were convinced it was the 8-hour chart. You can see, we can just see things here like the short spell, just giving us a huge good sell-off here, short spell, sideways, and then dump. Same here, down. Look at this one. This is a monster here. Oh, this is back in July. This is a monster here for this short spell here, dumping out. So this is really, really cool to see. So let's look at on the daily chart here. Look what's happening with futures here on the daily. This is really, really starting to, in a macro way, like move sideways here. So some wrestling between the bears and the bulls. Let's go down to, let's go to a lower chart and see what we find. Yeah, this is juicy. This is really good. So if we just stay with Foresight alone, so we're not looking at the Mystic in the moment, but Foresight alone, let's track out these signals. That's a win. That's a win. That's a win. This one, no, not really. If you were going with a minimum of 2% with a trailing stop loss, no, you're not getting that. And then this one we're sort of waiting to see, but it, given that the epoch is right here, this is the Fibonacci number 55. It's an odd time for him to be looking at, I suppose, although I really enjoy trading that. Looks like we have some support here on our epoch, so we'll see how that moves. I failed to mention in the beginning, if you happen to check in during a live stream and you want me to look at a particular symbol of anything, I would be happy to do so and see how Foresight is working with it, and also if I see any other technical analysis on it that we could possibly marry to the Foresight to give us a clear direction on the movement. So again, if you're unfamiliar with Foresight, you can check out ForesightScrolls.com. That's where you can get access to the indicators. We also have a Discord that has signal channels for people that own Foresight, but then there's also just you can go there for free and be a part of the community, and you'll probably get some good information there from people that are there. We're just now building this thing. We're new. We just launched a few Fridays back. So you're on the ground floor of it if you get in now, which is really cool. You could say you were here in the beginning, before Foresight blew up. Thanks for stopping by, or thanks for watching. In the future, if you just happen to be checking this thing out, and check us out every day. Right now, we're committing to like Monday through Thursday. Sometimes we'll do a Friday or a Sunday, depending on market action. And from time to time, check in randomly too. Most days we are streaming somewhere in this If you're in Eastern time in the States, so it's probably about 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock. Central time, 6 to 7, so on and so forth. And if you're around the world and you check it out, I have no idea what time it would be for you, but we're pretty stable in the same time every night. All right, thank you so much for checking us out, and we'll see you next time.